after 48 hours back in the UK, we're jumping on Ryanair, London Stansted to Cologne for VLN 5, the 6 hours, the big race. News behind that story though, stay tuned as to state of play for this weekend. So this is the day after race day here at VLN. It's Sunday. Obviously, because it's after race day, it's now a beautiful blue sky and sunny day as far as I can see. You can just about see the clouds in the valley down there, which is really, really cool. Barely got a chance to kind of update everyone on the weekend and everything that was happening. So here's a quick update. So when I last updated you, which was on the plane actually, leaving Stansted Airport, there was something to be discussed. And that was, even if the fact that we were going to be racing this weekend, last weekend at the Spa24hrs, the 34 car in the Spa24hrs is the PlayStation car but in a different livery, and unfortunately that was damaged quite heavily, which required, and the team had 2 days to turn the car around from a 24-hour race plus damage to then turn it into a VLN car and then bring it here as well.
Oh, it's strange. I mean, I can understand if you're running and where the tyres low, that's fine. He's been in the barrier. Yeah, the back of the car has stoved in against. So there it was. Was that contact by the Audi that pushed the car off the racetrack?
So as you can see from that photo, the rear end is pretty damn smashed up. Didn't really affect the car structurally, but obviously you can't turn up to a race meeting with a car that's already broken. So huge shout out to Julian and Steve from Walkenhorst Motorsport for burning the midnight oil and getting the car repaired and turned around and arriving at the circuit at 10 PM on Friday evening. Which meant that obviously we had no testing, but the main thing was that the car was there. And then pretty impressively, the car rolled straight out into qualifying with no faults or issues. And indeed a full 6-hour race as well with no faults and issues mechanically. And yeah, we qualified the car, not so great. We were down in the 30s unfortunately after a very sketchy qualifying.
Into Tiergarten, the 6 hours very nearly underway, Johnny.
And a wonderful sight these cars make as they are now neck and neck, side by side, bunched very closely to one another indeed.
I qualified the car and I'm still not confident in this place in the wet, and it was pretty damn wet yesterday morning. So it was a case of survival, qualify the car for the race, and then obviously get ourselves together once we were in the race and the conditions were a lot more consistent. I then started the race.
Ahead of the order, and an all Mercedes front row for VLN 5. The pace car is already in the pit lane. The flags are waved.
I quickly managed to clear a lot of cars that were ahead of us to get on the back of the GT3 field. After 2 laps the track was drying very quickly, and as we're at the back and we had nothing to lose, I made the call to go slicks on lap 3, just to try and get the jump on the field. Which I think we did. We were losing more time on the wets than if we'd gone to slicks. So
5 BMW, which is just heading now towards the cut through, and Rudy hasn't pitted yet. We have had though also in Gabriele Piana, who is driving a Black Falcon Mercedes in the SP8T division. So that is a Mercedes-AMG GT4 by name, but not actually in the GT4 category. So they will have done something to that car, which means it cannot run in SP10 legally and has to be switched to SP8T instead. The difference
This is one bit I love about driving slicks in the wet or in these changeable conditions. You can see here that is literally a car width wide dry line. There's damp either side, and if you add or put a wheel on that damp at any point whilst the car's loaded up, it's game over for you, obviously, especially around here as well. So this is one of the unique challenges of the Nordschleife, and one of the unique challenges of motorsport, which I really love to do. Also on the outlap, I'm trying to work out the conditions, get temperature into the tyres, but it's being lost as quickly as it's being gained. As you go over certain wet patches, you have to try and really judge the different types of tarmac. Like they're going into Arenberg, it's super slippy just after the braking zone finishes, so you think you've got it stopped and then it tries to spit you off. And then down the foxhole is always notoriously one of the trickiest places and slowest places for the track to dry, so you really have to pay a lot of attention down there. So yeah, it really keeps you on your toes, and it's an amazing challenge. That was a good move, which bumped us right up the field from probably 15th to about 5th or so, of which I had a really good battle with the Row Racing BMW as well. Lacked a little bit of pace as we still had a wet setup on the...
Meanwhile, battling BMWs, David Pittard ahead of Philip Eng. These cars running 5th and 6th, 4th and 5th in the Pro category. And all of a sudden, the gas is hit.
which was then changed for when Jody jumped in the car afterwards. We then continued to run P6, P5, just behind the leading group front of 4, where we eventually finished up 5th with Christian setting the fastest lap again. So it proves that the car has pace and
are interested, and that's the Porsche, as you say, with Klaus Bachler having to go one side of a back marker, and Christian Krogner's going up the inside of another back marker. And you do see how much bigger the BMW is than the Porsche, don't you, as they go through there? But as they went through the left-hander onto the Hatzenbach, so Christian Krogner's dived past Klaus Bachler and has taken 5th place. So that's a change of position with 20 minutes of the race still to go.
All things considered, that we may not have been racing until about 10:30 on Friday evening, yeah, it was a good result. So yeah, huge thank you to the team for their amazing turnaround to get us out racing. And yeah, like I say, the result was, considering the circumstances, really good. So yeah, now I'm back at the paddock for some filming for VLN TV, and then we're headed down to Apex to do some Nordschleife taxi laps later on. So yeah, tune in for that a little bit later.